Well, it's closing time.
I thought this would be like closing time from Friends. What up, everyone? My name is Scott Redda. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is 6:32. We don't usually do a 6:30 club on a Friday, but guess what? I've been in here all week, grinding it out, right? And figured why not end the year where I could spend it with my dogs. I wish we could interact and could see your faces and say, good morning, good morning, good morning. But maybe this year, the tech department will figure it out and Twitter will figure it out, and we can do that. But for now, it is what it is. Hope everyone's feeling good. Christmas is behind us. Some people are like, Red Dog, Santa didn't come. Santa's been sitting at the table since Thanksgiving. I even think I think Santa, everyone thought on Halloween Santa was dressed up from someone, but it was Santa Claus. Santa Claus came on Halloween. Anyway, with that being said, Alexa, play It's Closing Time from Friends. Alexa's not listening. Anyway, basically, this was when October 27th was the bottom, right? And then really November 1st. So Santa Claus just kind of missed Halloween. Why can't we just have babies? No, what was that joke? They have Halloweenies? I don't know. Anyway, I'm a little delirious. So basically we've been in this, new active sequence since November 1st. So granted, did we not have a powerful week or a little bit? And then remember that Wednesday, December 20th, that shook it up. Bottom line is it's been quite a move. It's been a big year. A year that kind of looks like it was better than it was. I know for traders, I've talked to so many traders out there, and although there were things to do, that just, it wasn't the easiest of trading years. It felt like every time anyone got short, when it looked like they were going to break down, they got trapped and they lost money. Whenever a few things looked really good, they didn't break out and didn't have follow through. Some things did, and some things happened fast, and you can't really complain. It is what it is, right? You control what you can control. What do we control? We control our keyboard. We control our mind. We try and control what's around us and make it a better place. And control what you do out there, like your approaches. How many approaches do you have? I post a weekly chart every week going over Red Dog at 51, what I've accumulated and how I do it for the long term, and then actively for those of you who trade for a living. By the way, congratulations. It's not an easy thing to do. Some people think, it's such a glamorous job being a trader, this and that, and we know it's a grind. We know it's a head game. We know it's always you against you. It's a thought against a thought. It's a gut feeling versus an execution. Honoring a stop versus let me give it more time, or taking the profit because you want it and then it continues. And there's a one big head game in this market. That's why, again, I try and just talk about the routine, right? The process, which is what keeps us sane. What keeps me sane is, I wake up every day at 4:45, look around what's happening around the world, and I figure out where the futures are and what's leading what, and then think about, what I have overnight and how I'm going to, navigate it. And I do that in my sauna with doing weights, sweating it out, and then I listen to some kind of motivational, or not even pretty motivational podcast, not even a podcast, a video, and it helps me think about and brings thoughts to the forefront, and then it's my way of relaxing. Then I go in the ice barrel, and it's cold out, and I actually enjoy it. It's people like, oh, don't you hate it? I'm like, I actually look forward to going in the ice barrel, especially after being in the sauna for 30 minutes. Today I was in the sauna, and I had 4 minutes left. I'm like, I'm freaking hot, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just go out for a second and then add a few minutes, because that's the penalty for going out. And then I'm like, no, it's the last day of the year. I'm not going out of the sauna. I've been in for 24 minutes. I put it on for 30, staying for 30. So those little mind games. Anyway, there's just mind games everywhere. So some people are like, hey, Red Dog, what do you have on going into the end of this year? I have a bunch of things on, and some things worked, some things didn't. This, by the way, is the alpha team, okay? And everyone's talking a little bit. So what the alpha team does is they get to see my positions, see my options, see my executions, and breed some confidence. They don't just match what I do and do what I do. I post all these different charts, throughout the course of the morning. Like right now, when I'm done with the 6:30 club, I do like 35 charts, sectors, the Mag 7 or whatever they used to. What they call it before the Mag 7? What the hell was the name of that? Oh, they changed the name. Anyway, I'm like, it's been a week. Cheers. And yesterday we were out a little bit last night. So, what was? My goodness. Anyway, and then mega cap tech and the semis and the one-off. So anyway, still have a bunch of things on. Some things from yesterday, some things from the past few weeks, some options that are working, some not working, and and we'll see how it goes. I have a few hedges on. I've been selling some premium higher, which helped. The mega cap trade really didn't develop the way I thought it would for this week, but we kind of got, not say we got lucky, but there were some moves prior to help fund what didn't happen. So anyway, 477.55. You got to be careful. I was just talking to my friend Pete, and we were talking about what could happen, to start the year. Sometimes you get some profit taking coming in the first day or two, where now that you could sell and pay taxes in 2025, it happens. Or sometimes there's no selling, and then unemployment rate is really low. Everyone puts money into their 401k all over again, and then all of a sudden these lazy money managers put it to work the first 2 days, and if there's no sellers and people have been rolling up shorts, you could get a powerful day, in the first day or two. So a lot of things could happen. So I'm thinking how to position. So what I won't be is I won't be short premium into next week. What I did do just in case, okay, what I did is I bought some, some SPY 475 puts. Right now the SPYs right here are 477.20. So I figured, hey, for Thursday of next week, I'm like, if all of a sudden we get a day like December 20th where they just want to shake things up, I'll have some puts on just in case. But I'm not doing what I did this week where I've been selling premium above, like the 478s, the 479s, the Qs, 411s, and the IWM is actually a call spread. I'm not shorted, but we did pretty good. I bought the 205s when it was like 198, and then when the IWM went to 205, I sold at 208, so I funded that. But anyway, so I'm just I have a lot of premium on, and again, you never want to start the year off on the wrong foot. And listen, if you don't take overnights, that's cool. If you've been trading for a year or 2 years, it's different. I've been trading since 1997, so a lot of people who've been trading for a while, they've turned themselves. I turned myself into a little portfolio manager. You might laugh. Listen, I don't, have billions under management, but you could have just say 10 million total between an active, a swing, a box, and an option account. And I use the 8-21 day where sometimes I have a lot of risk on, and sometimes I don't. In 2022, it was hard to have much risk on when we're in the downtrend. We were just doing red dog reversals and H-cell setups and blah, blah, blah. During this time period, above the 8 day, I've been, carrying about 8 to 10 to 12 positions depending. So anyway, the question is, does this ascending kind of channel continue on like a frozen rope, or does it break to the downside? If you, remember last week, they shook the tree right here with this day. Remember this day that, and then we kind of rebuilt and went. So is that going to happen again? I don't know. We're going to see. Same thing with the Qs. The Qs are on this like frozen rope. I remember when Apple was on the frozen rope all the way to new highs, and then once it breaks, it breaks. But here's that trend. So we'll see what happens. Again, I don't know if new money's going to come right in or they're going to take some profits. I don't know, if the January FX stocks are going to just continue and go, and some have already went, and some have more to go. I'm going to have multiple plans, multiple plans. And then on the other side, besides getting paid for a living, obviously 401k, 529, 403b, my wife's Blood in the Street account, which we put to work many times since 2018. And a lot of you guys follow me just for that account, which is cool. Everyone uses me for different purposes. Use me. But anyway, it's fine. I don't know why that was funny. Anyway, so this is 47.93. So you go to the weekly chart, but the Blood in the Street account, by the way, is only for when there's blood in the street, right? So we put the Blood in the Street account to work here 3 times. That was the taper tantrum. Here, a bunch of times. Here, a bunch of times. Even here, only twice. And I sold half, and the other half I'm going to wait. Some people think probably they're like, Red Dog, what's your, in your 2024 report, where did you put your target for this S&P? I put like 5,200. Makes sense, right? You get above 4,800, hold above 4,800. The next psychological level will be 5,000. You get through 5,000, 5,200. That would make sense. Anyway, and going into, by the way, this is what I was talking about, the weekly chart, which talks about, everything you should be doing long term as the bull market does win. And then this is what I do to try and get paid quarterly or monthly. So anyway, if you go back here to the, to here, 48.18. Everyone's talking about it. What are we going to do? Are we going to kiss it and then come back in where sellers come out, and the bear is going to then say, oh, double top? Or we're going to kiss it, pause, which we could do because look how extended we are, go sideways and then bust through and, see a move for the first quarter. We're going to see. It's an interesting situation because obviously what's helping fuel the move is the first part of the move was inflation peaked, second part, rates peaked, and now the Fed funds rate is saying 3.8% for 2024, and we continue through highs. I know the Fed just doesn't base its decisions on the stock market, but it does on sentiment and this and that. If we're chugging along, I don't know how they're going to just cut rates. So maybe something shakes up in January or February. I don't know, but at this point, we'll go day by day, week by week, and just be a little careful. So let's talk real quickly about some individual strategies and stocks. Amazon gave us a really, really nice trade to start the other week. Thank goodness December 15th, we started putting on those 12.29 calls because we got paid handsomely right here when we had the 150s, 152s, and then sold them into that, rolled them into 155s, and those 155s, chances are there'll be a zero. It happens. So third of the trade won't work. What I might do today is I might go out for January 5th and buy the 155s again. Or I might do a 155. I might just do a call spread just in case new flows come in and they and they take this consolidation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days and break it out. It's still above the 8-day. Look how long it took for this. So that's something I might re-put back on. Google was a great trade also, but again, it didn't happen for 12.29. It happened prior, but that's why we went in early. Right here is where I was just talking to PD also, and PD's a legend. We were buying the 135s, 137s when this triggered, and then into that move, sold them all. And then I'm like, just in case we get above this 141 area, let's put some of those on. And then into that, I actually created a spread, which helped finance it. I'm not going to make much money there, but again, out of the 4 different strategies from here, it worked, and not everything's going to work. So now the question is, will it hold here and take out 142 to start the year? It might. The weekly chart, you could see it looks much juicier, so I might do something there too. FANG, that was it. It was FANG before it was MAG 7. Anyway, sorry, it just came to me. It's amazing how the mind works. All of a sudden something triggers. I don't know why Google made me trigger. But anyway, what's this? This is 142.68. 142.68. So again, here was your little breakout weekly candle. Not the biggest deal that it didn't, continue. And here's your all-time high. So you would think that if the market goes and new money comes in and they want to take Google's right here for the taking. So I might do something there too today. I gotta see my mood. So anyway, those two look ready or set up. Apple, I don't know. Apple, I bought some 2 days ago and then sold some, and I stayed with some. I'm still long it. Still in this descending channel bull type flag. If new flows are going to come in, they come to Apple. We'll see how that goes. Microsoft, so look how tight that is. Very tight. Feels like, then look at this, something like, hey, Red Dog, is this a cup and handle and tight upper wedge? Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then I'm trying to think, what should I do with NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA has been in this huge channel, huge. And it's been inching and inching and inching. I made a little bit of money long, but obviously NVIDIA, is not the NVIDIA we had back there. So everyone's like, all everyone wants to talk about is NVIDIA, but meanwhile, NVIDIA hasn't done anything since July. It's been in this channel consolidating, two big earnings reports, bringing the PE down, and now there's talk that they have a new chip that's going to be good for the rules for China. So it gets above 504, 505. I think every trader in the world's watching that, so I don't know how it's going to happen. So what I might do is I might put on a call spread here. I don't have a call. Right now I'm long the stock still from yesterday, and it's from a bunch of days ago. It's up $1.60 pre-market. It's pretty, it's nice. The question is, any power going to come finally? I might put on like a 510 by 525 call spread, or a 515 by 530. Risk like 3 or 4 to make something for January, just in case when it happens I don't get enough of it. I haven't done that yet. So I got some. Radio's got some things to think about today. I also got to get my car. I got a new car coming today because my lease is up. I have an electric Jeep with an electric top, so I just traded it in. I wanted to get the Cybertruck, but that was years ago, and it's still hard to get it. And at this point, I'm not really. Me and Elon, we're not on talking terms right now. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, that's part of the frustration of this year. If you think about it, look at Tesla. Tesla finally, after getting really, really tight and ready to go, did it really have to break out? At least it gave you a way out, and then just failed miserably like yesterday. And I know for me, I was buying somewhere over here, I was buying the 260 calls for less than $2, and I was selling them on the way up. And I actually sold some of the 260s for like 5 1/4 yesterday in the first 10 minutes of the day, and then I sold the rest at the end of the day for $1 1/4. Anyway, and I also had the stock, and I sold some into strength, which I always do. And then some people go, Red Dog, could you go over your sell rules in the 630 club? I'm like, well, if you think about it, if you came in long yesterday, just say you came in long 1,000 Tesla. Some people did, okay, because it broke above 258 and 259 and closed pretty well. Pre-market it was up a bunch. You could have sold 300. Then, by 940 it was up a little bit more. Could have got down to 500. Then all of a sudden it couldn't hold 263. Maybe you go from 500 down to 200. So now you've made money on 800 shares, and then you're holding 200, and then it goes red and you lose on the last 200, but better than, holding through this. And then a lot of people are like, hey, look at the size of this outside day in Tesla, and people went shorts, they think, oh, now's the time to be short. And then if you're going home short, now Tesla's up 2 1/4. So they'll be like, okay, what do I do now? Maybe they'll add a little bit to it, hoping it goes from green to red, and then all of a sudden if Tesla goes up $4 today, then they'll, that's how Tesla's been. It just hasn't been. There's been things to do, but you had to be really, really specific. Even here, when finally everyone in the world thought it was going to go lower, you had a Red Dog reversal buy, and then this day happened that everybody wanted in here after that because everyone was off sides. Whatever. These are just the day in the life of candlesticks, and Tesla's been a laggard. It's been a laggard all year. It didn't make a new all-time high like an Apple. Didn't make a new all-time high like a Microsoft. It's not close, to all-time highs like a Google or even an Amazon. This is where it is on the weekly chart. But I guess it makes sense, right? Because they're kind of, their margins aren't great. There's a lot of competition out there. Elon screwed up with Twitter. People are worried about whether he has to raise money by selling Tesla shares. And so it is what it is. That's maybe why my year wasn't as good as it used to be. It was like a normal year because we used to get really good moves like this in Tesla that made us a lot of money in call spreads and this and that. Here is like a baby move, and it was a laggard move. Anyway, I'm done complaining. So I went over some things, for the mega cap tech. AMD's been great. You could have chosen AMD a lot of different times. That worked out really well. And then as far as the January effect, I still think there's a lot of names that could do well during it. Tilray, you guys were laughing at me, but Tilray is up 10% from where I was buying it with you guys right in here. I like that. I think NEO still, NEO to me could, hear the 200-day back off a little bit, but then I think it has a bigger move. You look at the weekly chart of NEO. I would think this could see 14. I remember this year, this was tremendous, and then broke right there at 54, broke again at 38. and now it's kind of curling up. And last time it went into the summertime, it went to 16-ish. So why can't it get into the 14 area at some point? So I do think that's, but their new sedan, Bank of America, or someone said that the best technology out there. And then China, I think, does a little bit better in the first quarter. They started to. So I think you have the ingredients of that. Unfortunately, I feel like Tesla saw how to play that. The basket of EVs, might not have a barking dog, right? We always, when Tesla's barking, the tail wags and everything goes. Like yesterday, Rivian didn't go. It looked really good, but didn't go because Tesla was such a piece of junk yesterday. Sometimes what they have to do is the street has to isolate Tesla to itself and then let the EVs, the other ones that are performing a little bit better and having some growth, because Tesla doesn't have that right now, maybe, they can do it. So I like this. What else? I'm still in Chewy, still hanging in there. Chewy. With first move was right here. It was a good one. And then now it looks like it's kind of set up to see the 200-day also. So I do think that there's potentially another play there to go higher. Toast made us a lot of money from down here, though, and then it wound up going to 1917. I'm still in options. I sold the stock yesterday. Gold is gold's not frustrating, but it'd be nice if it would just break out already, but it didn't. But maybe it needs new flows or a dollar to get weaker. The GLD on active level is not a big deal. It had a big move. Just couldn't get real traction. But look where it had to come from. I remember how to do that false breakout and then boom, and this is where we're buying it. So I guess here's the 8 day. It's a little extended. You'll see on the weekly chart what everyone's clamoring about. The weekly chart, it'd be bad if it fails here again. That'd be just annoying for all the gold guys out there, and for me too, because I have option premium that I want to make money with. I wouldn't think it needs to come back to here. That'd be a pain in the butt, but we'll see. Then you look at the monthly chart, and this looks really good, like it's ready to go. So all 3 time frames are coming in. So it'd be nice if you could actually get a real move that has follow through and exciting and goes. Anyway, a lot of people were expecting that with Bitcoin this week or through Christmas, and it didn't happen. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but if you take a look at Bitcoin, it's hanging around, still building. It's had a huge move. Let's see where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is still hanging, right? Look at Bitcoin, hanging. Maybe it'll be a Bitcoin New Year's. You don't know. When everyone's bored and no one's trading, and they need something to do. All in all, though, really nice trend. I do think Bitcoin is part of your asset allocation program. Put money in every single month if that's what you do. And it's been a great trade. You had a lot of igniting candles. It's been, following the 8 and 21 day, which if you've taken some of my classes or you looked at some of the 8 and 21 day videos, actively you can make money there too. And yeah, a lot of people talk about what Kathy's doing right now with Bitcoin. Like she sold GBTC and now she's buying BITO, and then she's starting her own Bitcoin ETF. Either which way, we'll see how it goes. Don't follow her directly. People who followed her directly into 2021 got their clock clean. I'd rather just look at the 8 and 21 day and see what's leading, and look at the market action, use my tier system, and follow my process so I can execute with confidence. I said that pretty off the cuff. I don't even have a teleprompter. Anyway, I've been doing this for quite some time. Anyway, here we are. Okay, it's 6:56. It's been a good year. It's been a tough year at times. At one point, I think I was down, well over, probably close to $250,000 at some point. So somewhere in there, not quite that much. So, I know a lot of people had to dig out of some holes. And if you did, congratulations. I know for me, I'm pretty good at this, and it got a little frustrating. And September was a tough month. There was this day, if you're a trader, I don't know if you remember with Meta, there was a day that it looked like it was showing relative strength, and we were all trading it for a breakout. And then all of a sudden, it felt like $7, and I bought too much, and I lost like $50,000 that day in Meta out of nowhere, which was just like another sharp stick right there, and that was part of the small paper cut time. So there were things that were kind of predatory and insulting. My friend Alcasa, we talked about it. That was insulting. Remember coming in super long, and then all of a sudden they said, oh, we're going to do a rebalance, but they have to sell the Mag 7, and the Qs went up $3, and Apple, Microsoft, Google, they were all down. I was in all 7 of them. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, why did that have to happen? So things happen to you in trading. You know, you got to look for the right setup. You got to follow the good book. You got to, you know, use the probabilities and use a little feel, and over time it'll work. Sometimes it works easier than other times, you know. And if you want to do a few things to realign your stars, I every day that I go to 7-Eleven, I always pick up one piece of garbage. I just do it. I look in the morning, people look at me funny. I get out of my car, I'm looking around, I see a piece of garbage, I pick it up and I put it away. Will that help my overnight positions? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just being a good person. Anyway, with that being said, 2024 is coming. Make some changes. You know, everyone's like, you'll see all these podcasts and videos about the new you know, BYE. You know, listen, you got to make small changes. And the only way you're going to have changes is if you make changes. So make some small changes, write them down. They say, you know, a goal is just a dream without a plan. So if you set a goal, write down your plan and then follow your plan. That's how you build self-esteem, by following your plan. That's how you build, you know, power within, by making promises you keep to yourself. And you're the only one that knows it. And, you know, do the same thing myself. And let's hope that, you know, and you can enjoy life. I think I sent out this bunch of things over Christmas, which I liked. It said, you know, let's make some money, but make some memories. You know, money doesn't matter if you're not making memories. So all these little things are just little things. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see how today develops, and I'll definitely do a video. I'm doing actually a video with Mikey, my editor, today at 2 o'clock if you want to tune in, where we'll go over a few things, you know, what the day looks like at 2 o'clock, and, you know, what I decided to put on for next Friday besides what I'm trading, what I have on, and, you know, maybe we'll situate together a little bit for the next week to come. All right, guys. Another year almost in the bag. And, you know, every day is above ground's a good day. And enjoy life, because you know what happens when your number's called. They don't discriminate.